Something odd has happened with Palantir today. Suspicious insider moves have been questioned today. However, this signals the opposite. This might actually be really bullish for Palantir. In fact, it might even push Palantir to $10 trillion, and it's already been confirmed. What is happening? And why will Palantir and Palantir stock be different after this? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. The price recently dipped just a bit. Yeah, it surprised a lot of people. But here's the interesting part. It's actually stabilized really well. Unlike other stocks that crash and leave the community quiet and nervous, the energy around Palantir is totally different. People are hyped. Like, really hyped. And there's a good reason for it. Despite the slight pullback, Palantir keeps dropping bombshells. Massive deals, government contracts, big-name partnerships, and it's happening non-stop. But here's where things get wild. One analyst just pointed out something insane. This isn't your average prediction. According to this analyst, something unusual is brewing inside Palantir. Insiders are quietly pointing to a breakthrough that could completely flip the game. We're talking next-level growth, the kind of shift that could put Palantir on track toward a valuation in the trillions. Another analyst also believes Palantir could eventually be worth $10 trillion. Imagine what that would do to the stock price. And if that happens, you'll want to make sure you're holding enough Palantir shares. So here's the good news. Today might just be your lucky day. Right now, you can actually get some Palantir stock for free. Just check the link in the description below, follow the steps, and you're all set. Don't miss out. But hold on. I know you're curious about this insider leak. Super exciting. But you might be thinking, what's actually going on with Palantir's price right now? What does the chart say? Great question. That same analyst broke it down, and here's what he said. Palantir has actually been holding up really well today. And get this, the daily chart is getting close to something called a golden cross. That's a technical pattern that often signals a strong move upward. According to him, we might see that cross happen in the next couple of days. That's huge. Now, if you zoom out a little, the weekly chart looks even better. He pointed out a cup and handle formation forming right now, one of the most reliable bullish patterns out there. He said it's strong, and it looks ready. If that plays out, the stock could easily start hitting new levels one after another. He mentioned targets around the 130 mark, climbing steadily through the 140s and into the 160s, and possibly pushing toward the mid-2s and beyond by the end of the year. That's the kind of trajectory that turns early investors into legends. Again, this is coming straight from an analyst who's been tracking Palantir closely. And he's not alone. More and more experts are starting to see the same patterns lining up. So while the price might have cooled off for a moment, the setup behind the scenes is getting more and more bullish. But here's where it gets even more interesting. One analyst pointed out something unusual happening with Palantir, not just on the charts or with partnerships, but with the people around it. Insiders, and they're making moves that have raised some eyebrows. Let's start with this. Representative Julie Johnson. She bought Palantir stock for the very first time back on January 15th. That might not sound like a big deal until you realize Palantir's price has gone up over 90% since then. Yeah, 90. Almost doubled. And here's what makes it even more curious. Johnson isn't just any politician. She sits on the House Committee on Homeland Security, the same kind of work Palantir is deeply connected to. Government contracts, defense, data security, it's all right in Palantir's wheelhouse. And there's more. Representative James Comer also made a very specific move. On the day after Trump was inaugurated, he made one single stock trade. Just one. And it was a purchase of Palantir. Nothing else. Since then, the stock has gone up around 80%. And Comer? He's not just any member of Congress either. He's the chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability. Another powerful seat. Another close connection to the kinds of institutions that work directly with companies like Palantir. Now at first glance, this kind of thing looks suspicious. Let's be real. When powerful people with access to sensitive information suddenly start buying into a specific stock, and that stock just happens to explode afterward, it raises questions. Are they acting on inside knowledge? Is this a case of quiet manipulation? Are they setting themselves up before something major gets announced? It's definitely the kind of behavior that makes people look twice. But here's the other side of the coin, and it might actually be the more exciting one. Instead of thinking of this as shady, what if it's a signal? What if these insiders are buying because they know something big is coming? Not in a corrupt way, but in a way that shows how close Palantir is to making its next giant leap forward. These are people sitting in rooms where major national decisions are being made. If they are buying Palantir, especially for the first time, maybe it's because they see the writing on the wall. Something's happening behind the curtain, and these moves suggest that Palantir is positioning itself for something massive. Whether it's a new government contract, a breakthrough technology, or something even bigger, these insider actions could be the quiet clues pointing us to the next stage in Palantir's rise. And if that's the case, we're not just looking at a strong stock. We're looking at a potential monster move in the making. And here's something that could really solidify all of this. It's not just speculation anymore. This actually makes a lot of sense. The US Navy is now exploring additional investments in South Korea, and all signs point toward HD Hyundai, one of Palantir's major partners. That's a big deal. HD Hyundai isn't just a shipbuilding giant. They're working closely with Palantir on building next-gen naval systems. We're talking about autonomous technologies, smart shipyards, and AI-powered platforms designed for both military and industrial use. This is the future of defense tech, and Palantir is right in the middle of it. Right now, Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan, is taking steps in that direction. He's been promoting this idea of dual-use shipbuilding. That means building for both commercial and military purposes. And he's doing it through partnerships in places like Japan and South Korea. He's visiting these countries, making big pitches, and laying the groundwork for even deeper collaborations. And guess who's already in position? Palantir. So think about that. Palantir isn't just casually involved. They're at the center of this shift in US military and industrial strategy. They're already partnered with the key players, already developing the tech, and already sitting at the table where these big deals are being made. Now tie this back to those insider moves we talked about. Members of Congress who are deeply connected to national security and oversight suddenly buying into Palantir? It doesn't seem so random anymore. When you see how closely Palantir is aligning with US military goals, government infrastructure, and global strategy, it starts to look more like a coordinated move. These people might not be guessing, they might be positioning. And when that happens, when these investments turn into official contracts, and these partnerships become operational, Palantir stock could absolutely soar. We're not just talking about a small bump, we're talking about a breakout. In fact, one analyst went as far as saying Palantir has the potential to be worth $10 trillion. That's not a typo. 10 trillion. His reasoning? Palantir isn't just a defense contractor or a data company anymore. They're becoming a central player in the AI revolution. From battlefield intelligence to smart infrastructure to autonomous systems, Palantir is building the backbone of a new AI-powered world. And they're doing it with the government, the military, and global industrial giants. And here's the crazy part. It's not just possible. It's starting to happen. You can actually see it unfolding with every new announcement. With the US government increasingly relying on AI, with insiders making big bets, and with multi-billion-dollar partnerships rolling in, this vision of Palantir hitting the trillions doesn't feel like a dream anymore. It feels like a roadmap. So, if you've been watching from the sidelines, waiting for a sign, this might just be it. The stars are lining up, and Palantir looks like it's ready to take off. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos. Palantir is on fire today. Price continued to go up. Multiple bombshells have been dropped. The US government is about to announce a massive deal in 24 hours. And this is what Palantir needed to reach $500 per share. Now, it's finally happening. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Today absolutely shook the Palantir community. The stock is climbing again, continuing its upward march after that little dip we saw right after the Q1 earnings drop. People are fired up, social media's buzzing. Reddit, Twitter, even your group chats. Everyone's talking about it. The hype is real. But what just happened to light this fire again? Well, get this. Donald Trump himself dropped a bombshell. He said that within just 24 hours, he's going to reveal a massive trade deal with one of the most prestigious countries in the world. And if that wasn't enough, Palantir, yes, our Palantir, just dropped their own news, securing a major international deal with a country. Same day, back to back. It's not just a coincidence. It's a perfect storm for a price breakout. And here's where things get really wild. What if I told you these could be the missing piece? The catalyst that sends Palantir flying all the way to $500. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not just a dream. An actual analyst backed this up. We're talking serious momentum backed by real-world events, not just internet noise. Now here's the thing. When moves like this happen, you want to be in. You want to have your Palantir stocks locked and loaded. And here's a little surprise. What if I told you that right now, yes, right at this very moment, you could actually get Palantir stock for free? Yep, free. All you gotta do is click the link in the description and follow a few simple steps. Don't miss that. Okay, I know, you're probably already pumped, but let's take a breath and zoom in on the price action today. What's actually going on with the chart? One analyst broke it down in a way that makes total sense. Palantir had a strong open, real strength right out the gate, but then it pulled back. Some are saying that move felt like bulls trying to force a breakout, maybe even some manipulation in there. But despite that fade, it still managed to close the day solidly above the key level that traders were watching. And that's important. Now what does this mean? We're probably going to see a little more consolidation, some sideways action, for a few days. But the momentum? It's still there. It's alive. And here's the kicker. Palantir's now dancing just below 2 major resistance points. Once it clears those levels, this thing could rip. So what's the big thing that everyone's buzzing about right now? Today wasn't just any news day. Multiple bombshells dropped, and the biggest one? Palantir just locked in a massive deal with the country of Ecuador. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't some private company contract. This is a nation-level partnership. According to an official post from Ecuador's presidential office, on May 6th, President Daniel Noboa met directly with Josh Harris, who's the vice president at Palantir. They didn't just shake hands for a photo op. This meeting was all about using Palantir's cutting-edge tech to fight smuggling, crack down on customs fraud, and strengthen national security systems. It's part of Noboa's bigger vision to push Ecuador into a new era of digital transformation. Now here's why this matters big time for Palantir. This isn't just another contract. This is a full-on partnership with a government. It means trust, scale, and long-term collaboration. When a country turns to Palantir to help protect its borders, fix deep-rooted issues, and modernize their entire security infrastructure, that sends a huge message to the rest of the world. It tells other nations that Palantir isn't just a player. It's the go-to platform for national-level digital defense and transformation. And this kind of move? It doesn't just build reputation. It moves markets. Investors see deals like this and they understand the scale. They see recurring revenue, international growth, and dominance in the GeoV tech space. That's why this could have a serious impact on Palantir's price trajectory. So yeah, this Ecuador deal, it's not just good news. It's a major milestone, and honestly, it might be just the beginning. But here's the crazy part. Just when you think the day couldn't get any bigger, Donald Trump drops a bombshell of his own. Today, reports broke that President Trump is expected to announce a brand new trade agreement between the US and none other than Britain. Yeah, this is real. According to multiple sources, Trump is getting ready to stand at the Oval Office tomorrow morning and lay out the details of what he's calling a major trade deal with a, quote, big and highly respected country. And while he didn't name it outright in his social media tease, people close to the matter say, it's Britain. Now, think about what this means. The US and Britain have been trying to tighten their economic bond for a long time, but now this deal could finally open the door. There's talk about slashing tariffs, cutting down on barriers that have been choking US exports, and even removing taxes on American tech companies. And guess what? That includes companies like Palantir. This kind of deal, if it's even half as big as it sounds, could be a serious game changer. It would not only mark a major diplomatic win, but it could light a fire under American tech companies operating in global markets. It clears a path. And if Palantir is in that path, oh man, watch out. See, this isn't just good news for the economy in general. This hits right at the core of Palantir's strategy, because according to one top analyst, this type of global breakthrough, it could be the missing piece of the puzzle for Palantir to hit that dream range of $500 to $1,000 per share in the next few years. Let me break it down the way he sees it. Palantir's already dominating in US government contracts. That's their stronghold. But to really explode, they need to keep building out those relationships, push deeper into commercial industries like healthcare, finance, and energy, and lean all the way into AI with their Foundry platform. They've got to keep growing globally, and most importantly, they need to do it profitably, efficiently, at scale. And here's the magic of today. This Trump trade deal could kickstart all of that. With fewer barriers, less tax friction, and friendlier trade terms, it becomes way easier for a company like Palantir to expand aggressively in places like the UK and across Europe. It opens doors that were half shut before. This isn't just about shipping more products. It's about building influence, locking in more international contracts, and reinforcing their role as the backbone of modern digital infrastructure worldwide. So yeah, between the Ecuador deal and this possible US and UK trade agreement, today might just go down as the day Palantir's global moment finally began. And here's the thing. Even when you zoom out and look at the long-term picture, Palantir still looks really strong. We're not just talking about a short-term hype wave here. One analyst laid it out perfectly in a tweet. He said that Palantir's international business isn't just a one-time play. It's going to keep growing steadily over time. And the way things are shaping up, that statement is aging very well. Think about what just happened. Palantir signed a massive deal with Ecuador. It's not just a headline, it's proof that their global strategy is kicking into gear. And with this potential trade agreement between the US and Britain, that door just opened even wider. These aren't isolated events. They're signals, early signs that Palantir is becoming a trusted name in global security and infrastructure. And all of this feeds right into the long-term thesis. As more countries start leaning on tech to solve serious national problems, fraud, smuggling, cyber threats, inefficient systems, Palantir is right there, ready with the tools they need. It's not just about building software. It's about becoming the brain behind smarter governments and stronger institutions. So yeah, profitability is coming, slowly but surely. The foundation is being built contract by contract, country by country. And if this momentum keeps up, we might just be witnessing the early stages of Palantir turning into a true global giant. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.